Hey guys, Zero here. This just came in the mail today. This is going to be kind of a cool unboxing because this is a very retro nostalgia type thing from my childhood. Luckily, these aren't super hard to find, so I was able to get this for just a couple dollars on eBay. But basically, when I was growing up, when I was like a teenager, preteen, there was a game called Marvel Overpower, which I played with all my friends. I believe the original Overpower came out in 1995, and this is one of the, not expansions, but like other versions that came out later. This is DC Overpower, so obviously this is going to be DC characters instead of Marvel. This is a starter deck. The starter decks always come with 69 cards. The Marvel ones did as well, but there were actually 6, I think it was, different sets of starter decks, and each one had a name and came with a like set of specific cards. So if you bought like the Carnage one, then you knew like exactly which cards were coming in it, because they were the same for every starter deck of that type. But with the DC Overpower, they actually basically just put out these starter decks, and they're all random. So it's kind of like the equivalent of buying like a booster pack, but it's larger. So you don't really know which heroes and which special cards and everything that you're getting in the box. They're all different. But I believe the DC set was a lot smaller than the Marvel set, because there was the original Marvel Overpower, which had the 6 starter decks, and then there was a expansion called Power Surge, which added a lot more heroes and special cards. And then there was a second set of like a second expansion called Mission Control, and that one added even more. So this one hasn't had any expansions. So the DC, basically, to get all the cards, you just buy like a starter deck, and then you buy the little mini booster packs that come with like, I don't know, like 6, 7, 8 cards, whatever, until you have all the ones you want or complete the set. So this one is still shrink wrapped and in good condition, which is cool. Let's see here if it says the copyright date. Yes, so 1996. So this one came out a year after the Marvel Overpower, which was the original. And like I said, me and my friends collected these. We mostly collected the Marvel ones. I don't think we really got into the DC at all at the time. I don't think I ever even saw the DC ones really in stores. There was a store called Media Play that was around in my area back at that time, and that's where we would get our cards from. And I don't think they ever ended up carrying the DC version or any of the later expansion packs after the first 2 Marvel ones, because eventually there was also JLA. And there was also Monumental Overpower and like a couple other ones. But yeah, they never carried those in the store. You can order those online, but those ones are a little bit more rare. So buying a box of those can be like pretty expensive. But the major difference, aside from these being DC characters, between this and the Marvel Overpower, is that instead of each hero card only having energy, fighting, and strength stats, they also added a 4th stat, which was intellect. And then they eventually did go back and add intellect to the Marvel set when they re-released it in a later expansion. But yeah, so I'm actually going to open this this box here and see what I got, because like I said, unlike the Marvel starter decks, these ones are actually random, so they do not have a set predetermined list of cards that you'll be getting. And this is, like I said, this is kind of crazy because I collected these back in 1995. Ooh, right off the bat, I'm excited because Supergirl is one of my favorites. And so, yeah, this is just like really crazy for me because, yeah, this takes me back like to when I was a kid. So, all right, so let's see what we got here. So this is what the backs of the cards look like. little bit more basic than the Marvel versions, which had a picture of Wolverine fighting Spider-Man. But I kind of like this because I like this kind of like teal aqua color here. So this is the Supergirl hero card. These are called hero cards. Even if it's an enemy, it's called a hero card. But these are like your main characters that you play with. And like I said, you get energy, fighting, strength, and intellect stats. So this is awesome that right off the bat I have Supergirl because she's one of my favorites. Same thing with the Marvel sets. You would get these. You would get a couple of these. I think in the starter decks you get a complete set of one of them. But there's these. I forget what they're called. These mission cards, I think they're called. And each one I think has like, I don't know, 7. So 7. So yeah, I think you get all 7 of them when you buy a starter deck. But there's different mission series. I remember in the Marvel one there was like one called Maximum Carnage, and that was my favorite one because I like the symbiotes. You get your little instruction manual, and then this is what the special cards look like. So these basically tell you like what attack you're doing or what effect it has. So like for example, this one says play with the energy power card attack, and if the attack succeeds you add +2 to damage. So you know, basic typical card game stuff. And then on each card it always tells you who the character on the card is, which is kind of cool because if you know, maybe are a fan of Marvel or DC but you don't know like every single character, it'll tell you like who it is. If there's like multiple characters. This is a special card for the Huntress, so like obviously it's Huntress, but some of the other cards that are not hero cards or not special cards, if they have, you know, characters on them, it will tell you who the character is. So we got a couple Huntress special cards here, and then the Huntress hero card to go along with it. So I don't think these are completely random, because if they were, you would probably get a bunch of heroes and then random special cards that didn't correspond to those heroes, so you wouldn't be able to use them. So I think even though they're not all the same in all the starter decks, they do at least arrange it so that when you get a hero, you also get their special cards. So at least that way you can, you know, use them and play the game. So I got a couple different Huntress special cards there. Got another hero card here for Eradicator. And I like that these are all in mint condition because you can buy individual cards on eBay, but sometimes they're like old and stained or beat up or whatever. Eradicator special cards. Got a couple of those. Nightwing special card, which means I'm hoping that I got the Nightwing hero card in here. And there he is. I did get him. Cool. There's not anywhere near as many heroes in the DC set as there was in the Marvel set. God, the Marvel set had like, between all the expansions, there was probably like 100 different hero cards. But the DC one, I think there's only like 20 or 30. So I was kind of crossing my fingers that I'd get all the ones that I want. These Justice League case files cards are not something that were in the Marvel set or anything similar to these. So I'm not really sure what these do. I would have to read the instructions, but it looks like I got a couple of these. So these are teamwork cards. And these are a special kind of universe card, which the universe cards were also in the Marvel set. But basically it tells you what you have, the requirement in order to use it, and then it tells you what it does. And basically it allows you to do something for your teammates. So teammates, like basically you have like a bunch of hero cards. I think the way that it was set up was that you would have like 3. It's been so long. It's been like 20 years since I played this game. I think there would be like 3 cards in the front and like 1 in the back or something like that. But I don't really remember offhand. But yeah, you could apply cards to like different heroes. So more universe teamwork cards. Universe Ally card. Got a couple of those. And like, I'm not going to go through every single individual card, but I just kind of want to skim through these real quick and see if there's any other hero cards. I know Batman's obviously one of them, Joker's one of them, Lex Luthor. So like these are like the energy cards. So these are basically like attack cards, and they go 1 through 8. So like a one intellect card is obviously a very low card. But it was pretty rare to get 8s for any of the cards, pretty much. But yeah, you'll get a bunch of energy cards in the deck. You'll get a couple hero cards, some universe cards, and some special cards for the heroes. But this was a really fun game, and it was super fun to collect the cards and to buy the booster packs and to like trade with my friends. Like I said, this came out back in 1995. The DC version came out in 1996. So that was a long time ago. But I'm glad that you can still buy, you know, starter decks and booster packs and all this kind of stuff on eBay if you know, decide you want to go try this out. And it's not just for people that, you know, played it back in the day and want the nostalgia. Like, this is a fun game to play even, you know, today. So I recommend it. But yeah, like I said, this starter deck, which is all you would need to get playing. Obviously somebody else, like a friend, would have to have a starter deck also. But I think I got this for like $6, which is less than it cost even back in the day when they were available in stores. I think they were like $12.50 back then. The Marvel starter decks are also inexpensive. You can probably get a box of all 6 starter packs for pretty cheap, but it's when you get into the later expansions that they start to be super expensive. But yeah, like I said, it's a really fun game, especially if you love, you know, Marvel or DC. If you like comic books in general and you like card games, it's not as like in depth as something like Magic the Gathering or, you know, whatever other card games people are playing. But yeah, I like to look at the artwork, and I like to collect my favorite characters. So maybe I'll buy some booster packs and see if I can get some of the other heroes that I'm missing. But that's it. I just wanted to kind of show you guys the gist of the game and do a little quick unboxing of this set, because I was excited when I ordered it. So that's it. Until next video, I will see you guys later.